Awesome. All right.
Hey, we outside again,
Yep, not the people mover again,
unfortunately.
but we are here with a special guest. Who are we here with today?
Abdul El Sayed, running for U.S. Senate.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
for
you for
being here with us
joining
today.
us.
Thanks for having us.
So look, we usually on the people mover. We outside. It's nice
We're
outside.
close. We see
I'm
it.
just gonna act like we on there. So we have to ask you, what's moving you?
Just shouldn't be this hard. Shouldn't be this hard to afford your groceries. Shouldn't be this hard to pay your rent or believe you can ever own a home. Shouldn't be this hard to see a doctor. Shouldn't be this hard to breathe clean air. Shouldn't be this hard to drink good water. Should not be this hard. And that is moving me to, I've been now to 90 different cities. I wish I could take the people mover every which way, but a lot of it in a car. 335 public events, trying to preach the good word about getting money out of politics, putting money in your pocket, and passing Medicare for all.
That's all very
Yeah.
needed. What do you think when it comes to like the cost of living? Obviously, public transit's a big thing. What do you think is needed for public transit in the state to improve?
We need a lot more investment in transit generally, right? Everything from rebuilding our broke highways to investing in the ability to move around your city without having to worry about if it's going to shut down for a month when you're trying to do a show about being on the damn people mover, right? I'm just saying, like, zero people moved in the last month. We could do a lot better. So I I love the people mover, but like also love it when it's going. But we need more investment. And too often what happens with any of these programs is we leave it to local communities to try and solve a problem that everybody across the country is solving collectively, but we just don't know it. So that's where the federal government is supposed to come in. But here's the thing. They got money for wars. But y'all know the rest of the lyric. Can't feed the poor. Also can't
I
move
don't
the
know
poor.
that one. What is that one?
That's Tupac changes.
I do know that one. Actually.
You do know that one.
I just had to hear it.
So I'm just saying that, at the end of the day, we are sending our money abroad to the tune of $1 billion a day in a war. $1 billion a day. You know what would happen if you put $1 billion in the people mover? It would move people.
Literally. A lot.
Literally.
So what drew you towards politics?
Honestly, man, I had no intention of being a politician. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a doctor because I could go 15 minutes from where I grew up or 15 hours from where I grew up to my family's native Egypt and cross 10 years difference in life expectancy. Then you go to medical school, realize that our healthcare system is actually part of the problem. And then you start wondering, like, why is it that we let so many people get sick in the first place? And so I went into public health, got to rebuild the health department here in the city, led Wayne County's Department of Health, Human and Veteran Services, and realized that so many of the challenges we face sit on the wrong end of decisions not made by people here in Detroit or Wayne County or even Michigan, but made by people in DC. And so I think we need folks who are going to go out there. Here's a crazy statistic. None of us were alive the last time there was a Democratic doctor in the US Senate because it was 1969. And y'all don't look that old. Right? So I'm just saying that, like, we probably could use one of those given that RFK Jr. is trying to tell people to eat beef tallow and not get vaccinated, even though we have like a full-on measles outbreak. So I think we need leadership that is going to keep our money here at home, to invest in people, to build schools, to build transit, to make sure that folks finally got guaranteed health care like all of us need and deserve in this country.
No, definitely. All
Valid.
that's super important. Obviously, like they probably would call you the most progressive candidate in this state. Even a lot of the Democrats are very moderate at this point. So, what kind of gives you, what motivates you to like speak up for these things and like be brave enough to like stick up for the people?
Honestly, I'm just the least regressive candidate in the state, right? I mean, really, like, if you want to tell me that we should be sending money there when we've got problems here, explain to me how that works. If you want to tell me that billionaires should be spit out every day while the average person can't afford the basic needs of their life, explain to me why that makes sense. Tell me why you think that we've got so much money for wars we don't need to fight, but our kids' schools are crumbling. Tell me why we can't afford our basic groceries because like 4 companies control all of the markets. So I'm just thinking that, like, I think, I believe in a world where people get the food they need, they got a good roof over their head, they got the healthcare they need when they need it, and that we're not using our money to make other people's lives worse, which could be used to make our lives better here at home.
How would you say like Detroit has shaped your view on politics and like the place that Detroit like fits in like the political landscape?
Yeah. So my dad immigrated to this country to go to Wayne State University to do his PhD. And I remember being a kid and driving around, and there's a tradition that we have when, you get meat, you take some of it and you give it to folks who are less fortunate than you. And I remember going out in the neighborhoods and taking meat to folks who otherwise might not have eaten meat that week and thinking, man, like, I could be in Egypt right now. And that's been the challenge for far too long in this country. We've got so much wealth and so much opportunity, and yet it's kept from too many people. And when you think about our city, right, this is an incredible city. The history of America runs through the city, whether it was putting the world on wheels, whether it was the arsenal of democracy, whether it was the union movement. And too often, you've got this wild inequality that takes place right here. This is the largest predominantly black city in America. And we deserve to breathe clean air, drink clean water, go to the best schools. And too often, it's decisions that get made at higher levels, whether in Lansing or in DC, that keeps people from being able to do that. And so Detroit continues to be a microcosm of America. Detroit's challenges are America's challenges. And if we can deliver high quality resources for folks here, we can deliver it anywhere. And you know, I made my bones as a public servant serving the city of Detroit. I'm proud of that, right? We put glasses on kids' faces, 50,000 pairs of glasses across the state from the program we built here. Took on some of the biggest corporate polluters, made sure that our kids weren't drinking leaded water in their schools, built programs to protect moms and babies at the handoff of life. So we can do it here, and we can do it anywhere. And I want to take that grit and grind from the city of Detroit, take it to DC so that we can serve the folks in the city, but also serve the country in a much better way.
Yeah, for sure. And like, on a personal level, what would you say are your favorite things about Detroit, favorite places, anything like that?
So I'll be honest with you, right? Like, I love any church on a Sunday in Detroit. And I say this as a Muslim guy, right? Church on a Sunday in Detroit, right? There is a commitment and a faith and a beauty that moves you, right? The quality of sermons, the quality of the singing, like I just really enjoy it. And one of the great gifts I get as a candidate is I get welcomed into these spaces and get to share my perspective. Obviously, right, like when you think about the Guardian building, I used to work in the Guardian. You stand up and you look at that incredible mosaic. There's something special about that because it connects you to the sort of the ideals of the city. You know, I love me a day at the ballpark. You know, whether it's the Tiger Stadium or is watching the Pistons play. Sicily's Pizza, if y'all haven't been, I think it's the best Detroit style pizza
Okay,
in
I'm gonna have to try it.
Michigan. It's phenomenal. So my guy Ali has figured out how to take a dough, and you know how sometimes Detroit style can get a little bit oily. It's like light and crispy, but you still got that gooiness and you still got that caramelized cheese. It's phenomenal. Eastern Market on a Saturday, right? I love the Eastern Market. I mean, we kicked off my first campaign back at the Eastern Market. I remember when I was a kid, we used to come to the Eastern Market. My dad grew up in a fish market in Alexandria, so he didn't quite trust the stuff that comes out of Kroger. So we'd come to the Eastern Market when I was a kid and just, you know, enjoy and, you know, taste all the fruit and, you know, leave with all kinds of groceries that we'd be excited to cook with. And then I'll be honest with you, right? Like when you walk into the home of an elder and they welcome you in, and you know that person's owned that home since like the 60s, right? And has been a handout handed down between generations, and the care that folks take and the dignity that they show you in the home. I think that to me is like the best of Detroit. It's like the goodness of the people and folks bringing you in. So this city will always have just an incredible meaning to me, and I'm grateful for all it's allowed me to be a part of, and all it's allowed me to experience. And I just hope that I can give back as somebody who loves this place and wants the best for this community and all of her people.
Fire. So they was telling me you was a girl dad, man. Girl dad only, or like boy and girl dad?
Girl dad only. I got 2 little girls.
Okay, fire.
They're 8 and 3. They're the best.
Fire. I'm a newfound girl dad. No?
Congratulations.
It hit different. It hit different.
It is.
What?
It unlocks a part of your heart you didn't know you have.
No, literally, quite
Right?
literally.
It's like you've been walking around, you had this extra little sort of room in your heart you didn't know you had. You see your daughter's face for the first time and you're just like, there it is. Like it's just a set of feelings that you didn't know you could experience. And you know, my kids keep me like super grounded. I'll tell you a funny story. I don't get to spend that much time at home with them given the campaign. I'm all over the place. And we had been teaching my 3-year-old that like when you have a guest, you should thank the guest for coming. So the next day we were eating dinner together, and after a lovely dinner, lovely conversation, we're joking, cracking up, she pushes herself from the table, looks at me and says, "Thank you for coming." I was like,
So
oh my God.
polite.
Wow. So she tell you were the guest?
Exactly. She thought I was a guest in my own house. I felt so bad about it. It like
Oh,
broke
man.
me. The funny thing is like she just thought she was doing the right thing. She's like,
Yeah.
"You're a guest." I was like, "Oh my God."
See you
You
later.
just broke my whole soul.
Yeah.
Anyway.
How do you balance like being such like a prolific worker and being out here like really fighting evil and still being a dad and giving time to your kids at the end of the day? How do you balance that?
So number one, Sarah, my wife of 20 years, is she's a real one. She's the MVP, and she helps to balance it all, right? She when we decided to run, we knew this was going to take with my time, but we also knew the girls would be all right because Sarah would be able to pick up a lot of the extra work that comes with that. But I try my best to just be as present as I can when I'm there, right? Like this phone can transport you into all kinds of other headspace, and I try to put my phone somewhere else so that I'm constantly with my little girls when I'm with them, right? It's not just about the time you have, it's about how much of yourself you put in the time, and I try to take that really seriously. I also just remember that a lot of what we're fighting for is for a world that they're proud of inheriting, right? All of us are going to hand the world off to somebody we love and care about, and they're going to ask us either explicitly or implicitly, what did you do while you had this? Both, what does that mean that I should do, but also, how much did you care about me to try and make this place a better place? And I'm trying my best to be able to build an America where these little girls have all the rights that they need and deserve, can build in community together, whatever it is that they want to build, where a lot of the worst things about the world, whether people go without healthcare or the violence that we see too often, or the fact that too many people go without, that those evils are at least less bad, right? And then we've addressed some of them, and that we've given them a position where they see a pathway forward to trying to address it once and for all. So that to me is the motivation, is that even if I'm not with my girls as much as I'd like to be, which is all the time, at least I'm trying to do something that is in their best interest, even if sometimes they don't see it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense for sure. And then, like we said, we're both artists. We have a lot of, like artists. We're in the artist community a lot. Why do you think art is so important for like cities and communities?
Art teaches us who we are. At its best, it shows us the bounds of our emotions and what we're feeling. Who's never lost themselves in a great song or a beautiful piece that evokes certain feelings, right? Art is about the communication of feelings, and those feelings are almost always there in you, but the art brings it out. And I think it's really important in moments like this to feel those feelings, because it's too easy to get lost in nihilism, right? To say like, I can't do anything anyway, what's the whole point? And one of the worst things about this moment is that we're constantly deluged with so much content all the time that it's hard to differentiate what is art from just content, right? And I think being able to make yourself a someone who connects to art, because in connecting to art, you're connecting to what's inside of you rather than just numbing all the things that you think and feel all the time, I think is important as someone who tries to lead, but also as important as people who are trying to make community. Because a great piece of art can connect you to people even if they're not right there in front of you. It's the feeling they had when they saw the piece of art or experienced a piece of art, and you had, that connected you around that piece of art, even if you didn't get to share it in a moment. And I think we need artists right now. We need artists more than ever in a world of AI slop. Be an artist and somebody who appreciates art, because at the end of the day, that's meaning.
Yeah, and then like I was also gonna ask, like I know you did a lot of like you've been doing a lot of collaborations with different content creators and stuff, and some people are like, oh, like content creators aren't journalists. You gotta have a mix of things, but this definitely the new social media wave. Kind of why do you think content creation is important, and like having that?
So you guys are, I think, capturing a zeitgeist and a vibe, and not all content is the same, right? We're sharing a really important conversation. You asked me about the people who are most important to me in my life. You asked me about what it means to touch and value art. And yeah, people are going to consume this in what, a minute 30, 3 minutes? But at least we're communicating something meaningful. And my job as a public servant is to connect to people in a way that shows them who I am, warts and all. Like I don't want people to walk away thinking like, I think what you think. That's every politician, right? It's like, I think whatever you think. You're like, no, I don't actually think whatever you think. I think what I think. And I want you to know what I think. And you may like it, you may not. But at least I want you to know who I am and what I'm about. And that to me is important in working with folks like you, where you've got channels where people know the venue, right? They understand the format, but then they can compare and contrast different people who you interview. That's really important to me. And my hope is that folks watch this and say, hey, I know who he is. Some of them will be like, I really like him and I want him to be my next senator. Some folks will be like, I hate that guy, which is fine. Like, I just want them to know who I am, so that then you can make a really great educated decision. You know what I really want though? Is coming out of this, you make a decision and make sure that you show up and vote on August 4th and again on November 3rd, right? Because too often what happens is we fall prey to that nihilism that tells us that we can't do anything anyway, right? And we certainly can't do anything if our attitude is we can't do anything, right? Because we won't. And I am just not willing to sit idly by and watch as people go without the basic things they need, breathe polluted air, drink dirty water, go to broken down schools, and say I didn't do my best. You know what I mean? Because I only got so much time here. I'm 41 years old. Chances are, if I'm lucky enough, I live till I'm 80, I'm halfway done. You know what I mean? Like, what do I do in the first half? Like, I'm trying to do something meaningful in the second half, and You know, I think it's important for us to remember that this world is ours for the making, right? And to your point about artists communicate that.
Oh God, what you doing it, man?
Trying my best, man. Trying my best. I'm grateful that you guys took some time to share with me. I'm sorry that we're not on the People Mover. Somebody should probably do something about that.
Yeah, we gonna get it going, man. Well, with everything that's been said, what's your next stop?
My next stop, I'm about to go to Detroit Body Garage, and I'm about to work out with Tara, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Thank you so much for coming on. Anything you want to end it off on?
Buff. I'm trying. We're trying Buff Petite here.
Somebody
call me Pocket Hercules.
Okay.
I was like, maybe not in the pocket though. Maybe like out of the pocket. Last words, honestly. I know there's a lot of ugliness, but I also know there's a lot of beauty. And I think we need to be able to see the beauty in each other. And that's the movement we're trying to build. If folks want to get involved, go to abdulforsend.com. Chances are we're probably tagged in this video, so go ahead and follow us. Share our stuff if you like it. Come on out. I'd love to meet you in person. We got an important election on August 4th. I hope folks will get involved. If you want to help us, sign up to volunteer. The best thing about our campaign, we've got 5,000 people who've all signed up to be a part of it. And they say you come for the candidate, you stay for each other. A lot of folks are looking for community right now, and they can't find it. What better way to make community around a righteous goal of getting money out of politics, put money in your pocket, passing Medicare for all? And I hope that our movement is part of that. So I'm just so honored to get to share with you guys. Thanks for making the time. Also, it's just a beautiful, lovely day. And I'm kind of happy we're not on the People Mover, man.
No, literally. We're outside. It's nice weather.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
You start working, man. What you about to do? Chest, try.
I think today is chest, try, shoulders.
Okay.
So, it's been a good day.